So let's just settle into a comfortable seated posture. You can have both feet flat on the floor, about a hip's width apart. And you rest your hands in your lap. The sits bones in your, feel the weight of the sits bones in your seat. Maybe some of you are sitting cross-legged, so perhaps just feel the weight of your legs. Align your shoulders with your hips, your ears with your shoulders as best you can, and then just imagine your spine is this beautiful string of pearls of light that stretches from the base all the way up through the crown of the head and beyond. So just imagine you're lengthening your spine. And you're putting some space in between your vertebrae. And then just go to the crown of the head and just release any tension there. Just relaxing the scalp, forehead, the eyes, the nose, the cheeks, the throat. Chest, belly, back of the head, the neck, the shoulders. Just imagine you're softening your whole body. Be aware of any sounds in your environment. Just trying not to follow all the sounds. Just allow them to be there. So in all these practices, we're trying to develop an awareness. It gets quite, we're getting more subtle. So it's getting to the point now, it's like, well, okay, at what point do I get distracted? Like sometimes we don't realize until we're 3 minutes into some kind of distraction that we actually did get off course. So just try not to investigate all the sounds. And then just have a little look and see what's going on in your mind this evening. Just allow those thoughts to arise and to abide. And then just as you don't follow them, they will kind of just dissipate. Try and be objective about what you're seeing in your mind. And then bring to mind all these people of our life, our loved ones, our strangers, and then there's people in our life we don't like so much. These ones really are actually very much our teachers, actually, because they're really showing us, what's there. So generally, our very good friends don't disturb us that much. We're just happy to be around them. But then we get into situations that are a little bit uncomfortable, and then we start to see the mind a little more. That's okay too. We're just seeing a little bit of dirt, and we can deal with that. So imagining the friends, the enemies, and the strangers, they're all equal. They want to be happy. They don't want to suffer, and they have this incredible capacity for Buddha mind. So we think we'll do this meditation this evening for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So we think there is no negativity that can't be purified. And this purification process is basically psychological. We create negativity with our mind, so equally we can change it by creating positivity instead. So we start with the power of regret and sincerely regret from the depths of your heart anything you have done to any living being on this life, in past lives. You can think of maybe something specific. And then the reason we're regretting is based on this logic of karma. And we experience everything due to our past karma, our past actions. And so having harmed others, we ourselves will necessarily experience suffering in the future. We cannot bear the thought of any future suffering that we might experience. We know from our present suffering we don't want any more. So it makes sense to pull out those karmic seeds before they ripen as future suffering for us. So we think like this. I regret from the depths of my heart having harmed others with my body, with my speech, broken my vows because I do not want the future suffering. I'm sick of suffering, and also regret any anger, attachment, and the rest that are the cause of why we harm others. And then think again, I'm sick of this suffering. And then think, well, what can I do about it? Whom can I turn to? So here we come to the power of reliance, and we rely upon, we turn to the Buddha, who we see as a doctor, who has the methods that we can use to purify. And it's not that we need Buddha to forgive us. We're purifying ourselves by relying upon his medicine. So you imagine Vajrasattva above the crown of your head. You can also imagine this is the mind of your teacher manifesting in this form for your benefit. So he's made of this beautiful, radiant white light. He sits cross-legged on a white lotus and a moon cushion. And he has a beautiful, radiant face, and his eyes are long, and they're peaceful and full of love and compassion for you and all those people of your life. And he has a sweet red mouth, and his hair is black and held up in a top knot. His arms are crossed at his heart, the left underneath the right. The left is holding a bell, representing wisdom, and the right is holding a vajra, which represents the indestructibility of compassion. And their being crossed represents the union of these two. And this is enlightenment, infinite wisdom, infinite compassion. To the Buddha, the Dharma, and the Sangha, I go for refuge until I'm enlightened. By this practice of meditating on Guru Vajrasattva, may I reach Buddhahood so as to benefit all sentient beings. And so in order to develop compassion, we need to rely upon other beings, the very beings we've harmed and those who have harmed us, by developing compassion for them. So think particularly of people you've harmed recently and in the past, and then in general, all beings we have ever harmed since beginningless time. And then think about people who've harmed you and just particularly have compassion for them, because the harm they've caused you is going to manifest as suffering sometime in the future. So now we come to the power of the remedy, and this is the medicine doing the practice of purification with visualization and mantra recitation. And we start with the body, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful white nectar, like coming out of a hose, quite forcefully from his heart, and it arcs around and enters your crown and pours into your entire body, filling you completely. And it keeps pouring into you until it forces out of your lower orifices all the harm you've ever done to any living being with your body in the form of inky liquid. And this pours out of you and disappears into space, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa situkaya meboa sipokaya meboa Anarakta meboa sawasidi mebiyata sawa kama sitame Sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan Sawa tatagata vajramame mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe Vajrasattva samayam manupalaya Vajrasattva dina patita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawa sidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya setva a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Dida meboa, situkai meboa, sipokai meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam triyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya setva a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Jida meboa, situkai meboa, sipokai meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya setva a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Jida meboa, situkai meboa, sipokai meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam triyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya setva a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam triyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya setva a hum pe. Vajrasafa samaya manupalaya vajrasafa dina patita. Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So be delighted that all the harm you've ever done to any sentient being with your body is now completely purified, and think that there's no way you could do anything other than benefit others now with your body. And next is the purification of our speech, and Vajrasattva very happily sends powerful nectar from his heart chakra, and it arcs around and forcefully enters your crown and fills your entire body, except this time forcing up to the top of your body all the negativity of your speech, and this overflows and disappears into space, not one atom left. So just imagine all the gossip and the harsh speech and the useless speech and lying and talking about people behind their backs and getting other people to agree with you. All of this is purified by the powerful nectar filling you as we recite the mantra. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Kuru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ha ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva samaya manupalaya vajrasattva dina patita. Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatsa sawa kama sitame, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagawan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Drida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Drida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha Ha Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So again, feel really happy that your speech is now completely purified, and imagine it's not possible to do anything other than benefit others now with your speech. And next is the purification of our mind, and Vajrasattva very compassionately sends powerful beams of light from his heart chakra, and this arcs around and enters your crown and fills your entire being. So it's the same, it happens as instantaneously as just flicking on a switch in a room. Pushing a button, the light comes. So the moment the light from Vajrasattva's heart hits your heart chakra, all the darkness of the negativity of your mind, all your attachment, neediness, bitterness, grudges, anger, depression, anxiety, all of this instantly dispelled, not one atom left as we recite the mantra. Oh wait, did that. I'm so sorry. Didn't we do that? We just did that. No, we didn't. Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anarakta Meboa Sawasidi Mibiyatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Jida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe. Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya, Vajrasattva Dinapatita, Drida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anarakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Drida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Drida Meboa Sitokaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anurakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hom Pe Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dinapatita Drida Meboa, Sitokaya Meboa, Sipokaya Meboa, Anurakta Meboa, Sawasidi Mimpi Yatsa Sawa Kama Sitame, Sitam Triyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan, Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe. So now be delighted that all your delusions, which are the source of all of our own suffering and the cause of why we harm others with our body and our speech, are completely purified. And think that there's no space in your heart now for anything other than love and kindness and forgiveness and wisdom and bliss and compassion. And next is the purification of the imprints of negativity of our body, speech, and mind. And imagine Vajrasattva sends light and nectar at the same time. And so the nectar pushes down all that negativity of the body, pushes up all the negativity of the speech, up and out. And then the light comes and just blasts all of the delusions. And in this way, we eradicate completely even the subtlest imprints of those negative actions and negative karmas, negative seeds. Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida Meboa Situkaya Meboa Sipokaya Meboa Anorakta Meboa Sawasidi Mimpi Yatta Sawa Kama Sita Me Sitam Shriyam Guru Hum Ha 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 Ho Bhagavan Sawa Tata Gata Vajramami Mutta Vajrabawa Mahasamaya Sattva A Hum Pe Om Vajrasattva Samayam Manupalaya Vajrasattva Dina Patita Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam guru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Dida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, Anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha 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 ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe, vajrasattva samaya manupalaya, vajrasattva dina patita, Jida meboa, situkaya meboa, sipokaya meboa, anorakta meboa, sawasidi mimpi yatta sawa kama sita me, sitam shriyam kuru hum ha ho bhagavan, sawa tata gata vajramami mutta vajrabawa mahasamaya sattva a hum pe. So now feel completely purified. There's not one atom of negativity left in your mind stream. Even the subtlest obscurations to your enlightenment have been removed. So really imagine that's what's happened. And then the power of resolve, the fourth and the final step in this purification practice. And here we make a decision that we want to refrain from harming. So first of all, rejoice in your efforts for coming along tonight. And then, we decide. Nothing happens without a decision. And so, think about something you've been working on, you would like to keep working on. Maybe it's some new insight you've had about yourself, or someone's maybe mentioned something to you. Maybe think about that. And so don't, try not to make a big deal of it. Just as something that we're doing consistently day after day after day. And this in itself brings energy and brings power to the practice, this consistency. So we're being consistent 5 nights a week. Some people do this practice 7 nights a week for 4.5 years. Well, almost 5 years now. We should have like a 5-year t-shirt. Anyway. Anyway. So imagine Vajrasattva is delighted with us and wants to merge with your mind, melts into white light and absorbs into you through your crown. And you think, my teacher's body, speech, and mind, Vajrasattva's body, speech, and mind, and my own body, speech, and mind are the same. So next, Rinpoche would recommend to meditate on emptiness. So you can think in emptiness there is no I, the creator of negative karma. There is no action of creating negative karma. And there is no negative karma created. So at whatever level you understand emptiness, you place your mind there for a little while. We can think of all phenomena as being empty. They do not exist from their own side. And you can also think that the way things appear to me may not necessarily be the way they actually exist. So let's just dedicate all the merit, all the positive energy you've created doing this practice to all living beings, and think, may all the virtuous karma I've created from doing this practice ripen as my enlightenment for the sake of sentient beings as quickly as possible. So let's just do chanting the names of Manjushri or Rinpoche to appear. Assembly head, instructor for assemblies, assembly lord, assembly chief, the ruler, most influential, bearing precious burdens, not other bound, his way the greatest way, the lord of speech, the master of expression, most skilled in words, adept with language, truthful, with boundless words, the teacher of the truth, providing teachings on the fourfold truth. Not coming back, not turning round rhino, the leader of the Pratikya Buddhas, gone forth by going forth in different ways, the single cause of all great elements. Okay. So let's just have a strong wish for His Holiness the Dalai Lama to live long and the swift return of our precious Lama Zopa Rinpoche, and for all your individual teachers, and for Lu to be free of pain and get better soon,